Very good morning to all of you. Today we will study English Grammar chapter number 19, active voice and passive voice. Now let's see what is the role of verb in this active and passive voice. Voice is that form of verb which shows whether subject works something or work is done upon the subject. That means, for example, Rachna eats an apple. An apple is eaten by Rachna. In the first sentence, subject Rachna works or acts. Okay. And in second sentence, action is done upon the subject, that is Rachna, or subject is receiver of the action. So, when subject works or acts, at that time it is known as active voice. When action is done upon the subject, that time we can say that it is in passive voice. Now let's see one example. Miss Leung took Brain's book. Here, Miss Leung is the doer of the action. Yes, and Brain's book is receiver. Now, receiver will come at the first place, that is in the subject place, when we say that Brain's book was taken by Miss Leung. The Miss Leung, which was doer of the action, which was subject, she become object. Okay. So, when action is being done upon, at that time we can say that it is in passive voice. Now, let's see definition of active voice. Active voice indicates the subject of the verb is acting because the subject does or acts upon the verb in such sentence. The sentences are said to be in active voice. Next, let's see few examples which shows that the subject is doing the verb's action. The dog jumped onto the boy. Here, the dog is subject, is doing the jumping, and jumping is known as verb. Christy will give a book report to the class. Christy is subject and is doing the giving. Giving is verb. The computer ate my paper. The computer is the doer of the action, so it is known as subject and is eating. Eating is a verb. Passive voice. In a passive voice sentence, the subject and object flip-flop. Flip-flop means subject will comes at the first place, that will goes on last place at object place, and object will replace in subject place. So it is known as flip-flop. The subject becomes the passive recipient of the action because the subject is being acted upon, or we can say that it is in passive voice. Such sentences are said to be in passive voice. Now, let's see few examples which shows the subject is being acted upon by the verb. The boy was jumped on by the dog. Here, boy is subject and was being jumped on is verb. Book report will be given by Christy to the class. Here, report is a subject and will be given is verb. My paper was eaten by computer. Paper is subject and was being eaten is verb. Now, let's see in brief. Active and passive voice. Active means what subject does, and passive means the focus is on the action. For example, Ram killed Ravan. Here, Ram is the subject, is the doer of the action. Ravan was killed by Ram. Here, this sentence is in passive voice because the action is acted upon. How to change from active to passive? Let's see the sentence. Ram killed Ravan. Here Ram is subject, killed is verb and Ravan is object. Now object will come at the first place. It will become subject. Ravan was killed by Ram. Here we will use verb, third form of the verb, that is past participle form of the verb. She helps him. Here, let's see few examples. She helps him. He is helped by her. I am buying a pen. A pen is being bought by me. He has to teach us. We have to be taught by him. Someone is following us. We are being followed. So, active voice means subject plus verb plus object. And passive voice means object plus be form of the verb plus past participle form of the verb plus by and plus subject. Now, let's see some common rule. Bring the object at the first place. Choose correct be form of the verb. Change verb into participle. Add by plus subject. So, for example, she helps me, him. Him will become he. He is helped by her. So, simple we can say that object plus be form of the verb plus past participle form of the verb plus by plus subject. Let's see few examples. When there are two objects, we can use only any one or both. She told us a story. Here, us is also object and a story is also a object. So, we can use either us at the first place or a story at the first place. We can use any of them. So, us will become we. Told is in past tense, so we will use were. We were told a story by her. Or we can also say a story was told to us by her. Next, they appointed him an ambassador. Here him is also object and ambassador is also object. So we can use either him or an ambassador at the first place. Him will become he. He was appointed an ambassador. Or we can say that an ambassador was appointed to him. Next example, the story has taught us a good lesson. Here, us is also object and a good lesson is also object. There are two objects. So, we may use anyone at the first place. We have been taught a good lesson by the story. A good lesson has been taught to us by the story. Now let's see how to change the sentences into active into passive in tenses form. When it is simple present tense, we will use MEs are plus past participle form of the verb. In present continuous tense, in active voice am is are plus ing will be there. We will change into am is are plus being plus past participle form of the verb. When it is in present perfect tense, that is has or have plus past participle, then we will change into has or have plus been plus past participle form of the verb. When it is in present perfect tense, has have plus been plus verb ing, then it is not used commonly. Let's see few examples. She is cooking rice. So its passive voice is rice is being cooked by her. She writes beautiful poem. Beautiful poems are written by her. Here, see, in the first sentence is cooking, that is, it is in present continuous. So, we will put being plus past participle. So, rice is being cooked by her. In second sentence, it is in simple present tense. So, we will put am is are plus past participle. So, beautiful poems. Poems is in plural form. So, we will put are and write will become written. It is in past participle. Third one, he has done homework. This is in present perfect tense. So, we will put has or have been plus past participle. Homework has been done by him. Now, we will see few example which is in present tense how we can change into passive voice. Amit plays football. So, here we will change into passive voice as football is played by Amit. He plays football. Football is played by him. She plays football. Football is played by her. She will become her. They play football. Football is played by them. They will become them. We play football. Football is played by us. I play football. Football is played by me. I play football and cricket. Football and cricket are played by me, or that is Amit. When we want to change, when the active voice is in present continuous tense, we will change Amazon plus ing into Amazon plus be plus past participle form of the verb. For example, Amit is playing football. Here, this is in present continuous tense. So, we will put football is being played by Amit. He is playing football. Football is being played by him. She is playing football. Football is being played by her. They are playing football. Football is being played by them. We are playing football. Football is being played by us. I am playing football. Football is being played by me. Now, when it is in present perfect tense, then we will change have has plus past participle into have has plus been plus past participle. Amit has played football. Football has been played by Amit. He has played football. Football has been played by him. She has played football. Football has been played by her. They have played football. Football has been played by them. We have played football. Football has been played by us. Now, let's see how to change in past tense. When it active voice, it is in simple past tense. We will change into object plus was were plus past participle form of the verb. When it is in past continuous tense, that is was were plus ing, we will change into was were plus being plus ing plus past participle form of the verb. Past perfect tense, that is had plus past participle, we will write had plus be plus past participle form of the verb. She was cooking rice. Was cooking is in past continuous, so we will change into rice was being cooked by her. She wrote beautiful poems. Beautiful poems were written by her. He had done homework. Homework had been done by him. Now let's see few examples of past tense, simple past tense. Amit played football. Football was played by Amit. He played football. Football was played by him. She played football. Football was played by her. They played football. Football was played by them. We played football. Football was played by us. I played football. Football was played by me. So children, you have seen that he becomes him, she becomes her, they becomes them, we becomes us, and I become me. Now, if it is in present past continuous tense, that is was were plus ing, then we will change into was were plus being plus past participle form of the verb. Amit was playing football. Was playing will change into was being played. Football was being played by Amit. He was playing football. Football was being played by him. She was playing football. Football was being played by her. They were playing football. Football was being played by them. We were playing football. Football was being played by us. So here subject will become at the object place and object will goes on the subject place. Now let's see example of past perfect tense. Amit had played football. Football had been played by Amit. He had played football. Had plus past participle will change into had plus been plus past participle. That is, football had been played by him. She had played football. Football had been played by her. They had played football. Football had been played by them. We had played football. Football had been played by us. I had played football. Football had been played by me. Now, let's see in future tense. When it is in simple future tense, that is will or shall plus first form of the verb, we will change into will or shall plus be plus past participle form of the verb. When it is in future continuous tense, that is will plus shall plus be plus ing form of the verb, then it is not common in passive, that is it is not used in passive voice. Future perfect tense, that is will plus shall plus have plus third form of the verb, we will change into will plus shall plus have plus be plus third form of the verb. For example, she will wrote beautiful poems. This is in future tense, simple future tense. We will change into beautiful poems will be written by her. He will have done homework. Homework will have done by him. Now, let's see few example of simple future tense. Amit will play football. Football will be played by Amit. He will play football. Football will be played by him. She will play football. Football will be played by her. They will play football. Football will be played by them. We will play football. Football will be played by us. I will play football. Football will be played by me. So children, here we have changed object and subject place vice versa, that is object will goes on the subject place and subject will goes on the object place. And another thing we have done, that we have put will plus be plus past participle form of the verb, that is play will become played. Model auxiliary verb can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, must. They all are model auxiliary or helping verbs. Yes, in that we can change that active into passive by the following rule. That is verb, main form of the verb, base form of the verb, plus any of the model, plus be, plus past participle form of the verb. For example, she can speak Chinese. Here, Chinese can be spoken by her. Subject will come at the object place and object will come at the subject place. Can is model, so can plus be plus third form of speak is spoken. We must preserve the tigers. The tigers must be preserved. Let's see few example. Example of must is we must clean the house. The house must be clean. We can clean the house. The house can be cleaned. I should clean the house. The house should be cleaned. I could clean the house. The house could be cleaned. I may clean the house. The house may be cleaned by me. I might clean the house. The house might be cleaned. I have to clean the house. The house has to be cleaned. Here see, have will become has because with I we will put have, but with the house is only one, it is in singular, so we will put has. Have to will become has to. Now, how subject and object change in pronoun? I will become me, we will become us, you will become you, they will become them, he will become him, she will become her, Ram will become Ram, and book will become book. That means noun will remain the same, but when we change the pronoun at object and subject place, we will change accordingly. Now, let's revise the chapter active and passive voice. When the subject of the sentence is doer of the action, the verb is said to be an active voice. When the subject of the sentence is receiver of the action, the verb is said to be in passive voice. We can change a sentence into passive voice only if the sentence has transitive verb, that is verb takes an object after it. The object of verb becomes its subject while changing sentence from active to passive. So, let's see the rules of change the sentence active into passive when it is in simple present tense. That is, only eats is given, we will write MR plus past participle. For example, a cat eats a rat. A rat is eaten by a cat. Simple past tense. Verb is ate. Here we will write was were plus past participle. That is, a cat ate a rat. Then it gives a rat was eaten by a cat. Present continuous tense. A cat is eating a rat. Is eating is given. We will write is being eaten. Past participle. A rat is being eaten by a cat. Past continuous tense. A cat was eating a rat. A rat was being eaten by a cat. Was will remain same. Eating will convert into being eaten. Present perfect tense. A cat has eaten a rat. A rat has been eaten by a cat. Here we will add been. A cat had eaten a rat. Past perfect tense. It will change into a rat had been eaten by a cat. Future simple future tense. A cat will eat a rat. Here we will add be plus past participle. That is, a rat will be eaten by a cat. Future perfect tense. A cat will have eaten a rat. Here we will add been. A rat will have been eaten by a cat. So, I think you have understood this chapter well.